Hi, welcome to another video of my fischertechnik TXT walking robot, Mirft2. Last time I made an attempt to make it really walk, and for that I needed duct tape, pieces of a broken rubber tire and some staples. And last time it looked like it kind of worked. This side worked anyway, and the other side had a problem using the gears, and that was in particular this gear, which has a tendency to move to the outside, so the gears are not driven anymore, and also somehow these gears tend to shift a little bit and lose contact with the rest, which is not that hard because these gears are really stuck in this part and these can easily slide. However, as you can already see, this doesn't work too well, and this one is coming from this line here behind, and this means that I'll have to rethink about the solution. It does work, but not as well as I hoped. Let me try to fix this right away. For now it stays fixed, but here also it comes loose. So the question is there a better solution? There probably is. Maybe with some better duct tape. And here you can see it is already kind of shredded, torn apart. So when I put it like this and I start the program, let's see what happens. And it will already go wrong. See, that is what I mean. It completely gets torted. Another attempt. When I refocus the cam, you see that this is not an ideal situation. So this is a problem, and this is a problem as well, because the rubber is completely on the outside of the leg, and that is of course not the ideal situation. So those are two things that I have to take care of. Another thing is that I tried sound here last time, and for that I used Simple Demo, which does a basic movement and it plays sound. And let's do that. And you hear there's no sound at all. So I need to find out why that is. Let me run it once again. It doesn't do anything. So that's not a focus for today. But first let's try to fix the rubber feet. After taking off the rubber feet, I noticed that some of the combinations, the duct tape was not entirely right aligned, and that is of course one of the causes that it comes off and that it gets a side of the feet. Another point I realized was, and this is another example, here it has a notch and that is below all the feet. So my idea is to put this element in front of it, or on top of it actually, and then see if I can fix it like this. And see how this holds. Not sure if it will hold, but it's just another idea and attempt. Now if the staple will hold, it would be very nice. And it is barely long enough. And put this right here, and then I'll have to turn it around, and then you can already see the problem I'm still having with the legs. So I need to figure out something about that as well. Apparently and clearly one of these is too flexible, so I may need to replace this with a metal axis or something. Anyway, back to the replacement of the feet. So let's see if this works out anyway. And this one is remaining. It is not entirely aligned. You see that the staple is a bit well, what can I say, but let's try it anyway. And let's see how this works out, if it works out. So far it kind of remains standing. But yeah, the flexible axis should be replaced. I think that would be a good start to solve it all. So let's run it and see how it goes. And here we have again let's put it here. Yeah, it's again come away from the axis. This as well. So that's another problem, but you can clearly see the distance between the frame and this gear. And this remains a problem. So I have to be careful now. Okay. Let's go again. Not quite sure. Do again. Yeah. Now this gear is aligned and the other is doubtful. And let's turn it around and see. Yeah, also too much distance. So let me fix that right away. And the problem is that I can't replace this axis, and in previous episodes I told you why. So this remains a problem, I'm afraid. And just for the repeat, I need this kind of axis because I need this wheel to fix on it. Other kind of axis won't fit this gear. So that's a problem. And when you look at it, you may see that this is too far away, so I need to shift it. And let's immediately check the other side as well. This one has gone loose. Yeah, this is okay, but this one has gone loose. And one leg has gone loose, so this is fine again. And that is one leg. So although the ideas are nice, there are a few problems I need to think about. While thinking of the replacement of these axes that hold the leg, I have found a problem, because the axis that I have used for this, which come from the old Mirft model, are twice as long as these axes, and that is way too long, so I can't use those. Another remaining problem is the fix of these axes, of the legs, and I'm not quite sure how to solve that. In the meantime, one of the remaining problems as well is the sound, and when I return to Android, I use a simple demo again, and there's no sound at all, which makes me wonder. Let me remove the text images. They're no use now. And there's directly sound files, so let's just why doesn't it? Now it does something. And you can see that there are a lot of sounds, and sound number 3 is the bell, which is supposed to be there and to use. So let's just watch how the script looks like. Sound 3.1. 1 second for the bell sound. And running it, well, it runs the robot clearly, but there's no sound at all. So the question is it really this controller? Let me see if I can do that by touching the actual controller. And that makes it a little bit hard. So I'm afraid it's all about settings. And there is one test about sound. And this means that the sound does work. All nice sounds, of course, but this sound, this reassures me that the controller is not broken in that point. So the sound does work, which leaves me with the question, why doesn't it work from the program? And again, nothing. Now this is something I will have to question. Something. Not quite sure what to look at. Is there anything else I could check? Not quite sure right now. One thing is that it is clear now that it is running the battery. So that works. It is powerful enough for all the gears. One thing I cannot avoid is this axis. So what I will try now is putting this clamp on the axis on both sides and then try to run again, see how long that works out. And as soon as I started to fix the clamps, I noticed that the controller was powered off. So I lost the session completely. And it once again looks like this, so I have to re-log in. If it lets me. And that's a problem because it looks like it looks for an available thing, so that's not a problem. And here it is. Yes, I want to connect. I have it, so now I can yes, there we go. That's the standard password. I can't change that. There we are. So let's see how well this does. And I will use my own program. Is there any flexibility? No, not yet. So let me put it here, because the camera is now on this side. And it certainly looks like that I have to improve the walking mechanism, because it's not really walking smoothly. Okay, that didn't go well on this side. The question is why that is. So let's try again. I'll lift it. Alright, nothing wrong with that. So it's the weight keeping it from moving. Alright, so I need to rethink the way it moves by the gears. And most logically it will be that they start at a different point and then of course move such that this works. However, another thing is of course the legs are made of one piece, don't have knees, so it's like walking with stiff legs. And I don't know if you've ever done it, but it's quite difficult, quite challenging. So that is one thing I could try. Put some knees in it, and while these aren't exactly knees, and they are certainly not activated, these may be a solution for that, which brings another problem, because this leg has two pieces, but the other legs are out of one piece. So that means that I need, instead of 3 one-piece legs, I need a few of these to replace them and see how that works out. But I think I'll let that for another time. So for now, thank you for watching, and to be continued for sure.